Raising cattle in the southeastern United States presents a lot of problems that a lot of people around the country are not accustomed to. The heat, the humidity, the parasites that these guys deal with, and with average rainfall above the normal, it presents some challenges within raising cattle, especially an operation the size of J&S.
A health program to me is the most important thing you can do to your cattle. For a couple of years I struggled with my cattle with all kinds of problems because we didn't have a solid foundation on our health program. It'd be the mineral, it'd be the vaccinations, all those things are your foundation. If you don't have a solid health program, you're never going to make the cattle and have the best performance they could actually have because they're going to be held back. When the cattle do without, in the end, you'll do without. You know, when the AmAffirm heat mineral came out with the idea that you could lower the body temperature of the cow and possibly put that cow on that pasture grazing for more hours a day, and that was something that was of pretty big interest to me.
AmAffirm Heat is a fully fortified free choice mineral that helps reduce the impact of heat stress and has a natural insect repellent included as well.
I was looking for a product that would help with the insects, and it also helped the summertime. I really didn't want to go with IGR in my mineral program because we are all natural here at J&S, so they come to me with this product and we started it on my Hereford and Angus cows, what I like to call my straight blood cows, and they're probably the cattle here that have the most problems during the summer.
Within 30 days of putting the mineral out, we saw the cattle on the pasture a couple hours a day more than they would have normally been.
A calf's gonna pretty much do what his mother does, and if she's out grazing during the day, he's going. If he's laying in the shade, you got other problems, but if she's out and about grazing, he's gonna be grazing right along with her. And once they're out of the shade and when they're out grazing, the flies are not near as bad.
As all of our products at Biozyme, the heat mineral pack does include AmAffirm as well. AmAffirm is going to amplify the nutrients that we're already putting into these cattle. AmAffirm is going to promote intake, it's going to increase digestibility, and it's going to allow for more nutrient absorption. When you incorporate the heat mineral into your operation, it's simply going to make these cattle more comfortable, they're going to be cooler with a lower core body temperature, and they're going to be out performing. They're going to be out grazing, they're going to be out gaining weight, they're going to be out producing more pounds of milk for their calves. It's simply going to make these cattle more efficient and allow them to offset some of the environmental challenges that you're going to see during the summer months.
We use the loose mineral free choice, and we give it to them we start them around the middle of March and we run through about the beginning of November on the heat.
And it takes a few weeks for them to build up some, get it in their system and consume enough of it. And then we'll feed it on through the summer months on into the fall. Now, we'll make the switch to conceptate when we get over pre-breeding, and the temperatures have moderated by that time, and it's not as big a deal by October.
People should incorporate the heat mineral pack when they come off of conceptate. When these temperatures start to rise above 70 degrees is when you need to incorporate this product. We see temperatures over 70 degrees in the majority of the country. So, this heat product is certainly something that can be utilized across the country from border to border. The other time that you may want to look at the heat mineral pack is if you're grazing cattle on fescue. The capsaicin is going to act as a vasodilator in these cattle and increase blood flow. And so it's a perfect fit for cattle that are grazing on fescue as well as cattle in the hot summer months.
Well, I think the AmAffirm heat does remove some stress from the heat and the humidity on the cattle. And therefore, if they graze more, then they're going to gain more. It's important in the overall packaging to get the weight on them calves because that's our money in the end.
The advantages I see by using the product is it does help with the heat stress. Here at J&S, we like to give them as much as we possibly can to help them with this problem.
When you talk to Jeff Simmons, Colby, or any of the rest of the crew at J&S Cattle, it's obvious that the most important thing to them at that operation is that they give these cattle the best care possible.
I think that the more you put into the cattle, the more the cattle will give back to you in your pocketbook in the end. Better gain on your calves. You're gonna have better breed back on your cows. A cow is only as good as what you pour into her. Do the things so when the person that buys them at the lot, they make money on them. They don't have a big death loss. They can say, hey, we need to buy those calves again. And in the cow business, I think the most important thing, and then probably the only thing you have, is your reputation. Our customers are mostly repeat customers, whether it be replacement heifer customers or feedlots that buy from us. And we have a really good relationship with all those people. They're part of the family. And we want doing business with us to be fun, because we have fun. And I really think that's the basis of our deal for 35 years is the people that we do business with, we treat them like part of the family.